Hey folks! The Buds found themselves on the losing end of another sloppy score fest. Playing on the road, giving up leads. What's happening? We're going to break it all down for you right here on the OZone.
You're in the offensive zone, your place for Leafs hockey.
Hey folks, welcome to the OZone. That's Coach. That's KD. I'm the Devo, and we're here to talk all things Leafs. Well, that happened. Another high-scoring affair, this time in Gotham. KD, what'd you see?
Well, if you listen to social media, Leaf Nation is freaking out right now, so I'm going to try and keep it short, but keep it somewhat calm. It was another breakdown, a lot of mental and sloppy errors. If the good news is, if you look at things like territorial play and possession and things like that, style-wise, Leafs are still okay. So let's get to a couple of the positives. First of all, I loved the third line. I thought they were solid. Their stats looked great. They really were, very solid. Created lots of chances. I had to break this out of COVID. It was locked down during this last Omicron virus, but 65, Mikheyev, he was great. One of the goals was completely his doing. Great forecheck, banging the offensive zone, stormed the net right after, knocked in a rebound. So the DKI is to our buddy Soup. I was pleased to see, in a small sample size, Leafs shifting wingers on the power play. We saw that, and guess what happened? 16 scored its first goal in, 4,000 games.
Yeah.
So it shows you switch the wingers and let them play on their off wings. It's so much easier to get those shots away to the net, break down the opposition box, and he fired it upstairs.
All right, Coach, what happened? What'd you see?
I'm not so sure how positive this is, but the way we've been playing lately, I'm proud to say, I guess, I have my angst back. So that, that angst as a Leaf fan had gone away when we were playing well. So I thought I'd drink a little just to celebrate. Hello, old friend. Oh, that's delightful. I watched the game on TNT. That was the only way you get the game down here. And I talked about it the last time I watched them on it. The broadcast was great. Kenny Albert's good. Paul Bissonnette in the studio is great. He's like Kevin Bieksa on Hockey Night in Canada with maybe a bit more of an edge, and they let him go. Yeah. They're trying to have him be like Barkley on the NBA show. So that was really good. I'm with you on Mikheyev, Kev. He's the best left winger in the club, and he's producing while playing on the third line. I think that's great for us because maybe he'll just shut up and play on that line and not have to worry about being in the top six, right? So that's good for all of us because I think we all agree Bunting, Kerfoot, those guys are good where they are. If Mikheyev is on that third line and producing, that's great.
Well, and he's also coming out.
I like Riley and Brody
on the power play too, right? And that's going to keep him quiet.
So he's getting enough. For this year at least, you keep him quiet, keep him producing. Yeah. Riley and Brody. 27 minutes for Riley, 25 for Brody, not a goal against. They played great minutes. Yep. And Keefe said going in, we're going to learn a lot about our defense depth tonight with the two guys out. And so I guess a positive is that we did learn something. And I'm going to talk about what we learned. It wasn't good. But hey, our buddy Brian Beliefs, he nailed it in his cartoon. Here it is here, and here's Keefe, yelling at these guys. You'll notice if you look closely, it's Biega and Dermott in the foreground and Sandin and Liljegren in the background. So nice work, Brian.
Marner getting that power play goal, getting off the schneid. I think hopefully that helps him a little bit. Soup, the other Soup, whatever we're going to call him, on a torrid pace. Fantastic. But a loss is a loss, so not a ton to like. So, Coach, while we're on the subject, what didn't you like?
Yeah, look, we've blown 6 leads already this year of 2 goals or more. So 6 different games. Now, we've won 4 of those games. That's okay, but that is not a good trend. We all know that. That's why the angst is back. But, I talked about Brody and Riley being really good. The second and third pair were not good. We had a couple of guys that were bad and a couple of guys that were worse. So Biega was on the ice for 2 against, so was Liljegren, and they were the best guys on their pair. Dermott was awful. And I already covered Dermott in the last one. I'm not going to get back into it. But look, Sandin was really bad. He was bad in this game. So he got pushed. He got manhandled by Reeves on Reeves' first goal. He lost his man on the second goal. And if we had more time, I would show you that. I'd do the analysis. But we got to save time for the Tiger Woods story. But look, this fiasco, I have to show you, okay? Here it is. It's 4-3 New York with 4.5 left. We're still in it. This Nylander had just had a breakaway and was denied. We're getting chances. And this is a face-off in our end. So the green is Bunting. His job on this face-off is to cut through and get to in front of the point man on the boards. Marner's job is to be in front of the point man in the center. Easy. That's the blue arrow. Matthews' job in the red circle is simply not to let his guy beat him to the net. Okay? Those are the forwards. That's not who we're going to cover. The next one is the D. There's Liljegren is against the boards. His job is he protects from the dot to the boards and down into the corner. That's his zone. He stays there. Sandin, his zone is the front of the net. Okay? It's very simple. You don't take guys, you stay in your zone. That's the way it is from Tyke or Minor Adam, I guess we call it in Canada, all the way up. That's the way it is, okay? So that's how this face-off is set up. Here's right after the face-off when we switch views here so it's behind Campbell. We can have a little bit better view of our D pair. There's Liljegren. He kind of stumbled, but he's still in his box. He still has that side. Sandin is not, but he's in front of his guy. At least he's playing Kreider. He's playing him there, so maybe he moved up to get a body on Kreider, probably. Let's hope so. But he doesn't. In the next one, look at what happens. Sandin is way out. He's not in his box. Sandin, where are you? Kreider's in front of the net. Sandin has wedged himself in between Liljegren and Matthews. They're all at the dot. 2 of those guys are in the right spot. Sandin is not. Like you said, Devo, it looks like they're lining up to protect a penalty kick in soccer. Yeah. Why are we lined up there? It's insane. It's bad. It's so bad how so far out of position he is. Oh, by the way, Kreider has 24, he has 24 goals. Like, how do you leave that guy alone? So you can see what happens. Half a second later, the D-man finds him. Campbell makes the first save. But what's Campbell thinking? Yeah, I don't think Rasmus likes me. Look at him. He's still way over there. Same with Liljegren. I don't think Rasmus likes me because I'm going to wear a dash on this. Like, we've talked about Sandin being the heir to Muzzin and being in the top 4 and playing those minutes. I don't see it, guys. He's not big enough. Right? And he's not smart enough. He's good with the puck, but man, night after night, we're covering these mistakes from him. I don't understand it. And it's really troubling. Of the 4 guys we thought were going to be in trouble because they got to play big minutes, Biega, Dermott, we know Dermott, right? Liljegren and Sandin, we would have had the most confidence in Sandin, and he was dreadful.
Yep. Well, maybe you shouldn't sugarcoat it as much next time, Coach. KD, how about you? What didn't you like?
I mean, normally when we talk about what I don't like, I usually pick on the forwards. I guess I was a forward, so I'm more critical there. But if you look through all the mistakes, I mean, the ones that were the critical mistakes were almost all made by D last night. The good news out of that would be you're potentially putting 2 people on top to push the rest of those guys back down. Mm-hmm. But we've seen 3 and 8 have problems as well. So Scotty pointed out last night when we were chatting, there's an issue that we're having problems finding the pairs to reduce these mistakes. The good news is, again, if you take a look at the actual play, barring brain farts, the actual play, there's not a problem with strategy, and there's not a problem with talent level. There's not a problem with guys knowing what they're supposed to do. But what we're lacking right now is dedication and commitment. And that means doing the right thing and taking the easy route out sometimes, like not making the top pass, taking the right guy, back checking rather than chase all over the net, looking at the guy away from the puck. And that takes actually dedication. They always talk about teams who've made it and teams, veterans, who all they do is they're dedicated to making the right play. And often the right play is a simple play. Most of these goals were goals against based on actually simple plays done wrong. So the good news is that it should be a simple fix. But unfortunately, now we're starting to see from 1 to 2 games, we're starting to see 6 and 7 and 8 games. So we need to nip it in the bud. And either I believe it can be sorted internally. If not, I mean, we have to trade.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see which way. Maybe a combination of both. But they are simple fixes. Like, this is not something where we just were caved in by a better team. These are mental mistakes, simple mental mistakes that we can correct. So let's hope it happens.
You know, and
Kev, I think an upgrade is warranted. We'll probably cover that in depth. We get close to the trade deadline, but you're onto something.
Yeah.
But by the way, if I was going to make the simple play there, I'd have picked on Dermott again.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have been on Richie. Yeah, I mean, what I didn't like about it, we posted before the game on Twitter. We had an uneasy feeling about the lineup that the Leafs were taking in. It's one thing. Morgan and TJ, they're going to log tough minutes, but they're also going to be on the easy minutes. They're going to be on the fun side of the ice a lot too. The guys that really hold down the fort in their own end are Muzzin and Hall. Now, this year they've shown they can be susceptible at times off the rush, but if you look at 4 of those 6 goals coming against Toronto, they were all in their end, pinned in kind of goals. They were either off the face-off, as Coach just described, muscle plays with puck coming out from behind the net. Those are the kinds of plays Hull and Muzzin do a pretty good job of padding down. Yeah. So, we do have some horses that can fix some of the leaks in the boat. One of the things about Toronto sports is you're always going to find a whipping boy in the lineup. And now with Richie kind of moving out, and people aren't really hyper-focused on Dermott because he's in and out of the lineup. For some reason, I've seen a lot of people putting down Hull. Hull's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer by any stretch of the imagination. But if you look at the last 2 seasons, he's been a pretty steady, dependable guy, logging pretty tough minutes. He plays physical, basic, simple hockey. Great partner for Muzzin, and that can be a shutdown pairing. And we got the evidence last night when those guys aren't in the lineup. Right. Hull outperforms.
And Hull chips in too. He scores the odd goal as well.
Here's the thing. He outperforms his contract, and that's what matters most. Yeah. We've talked about it. We've got stars. And we pay them a lot. He's not one of them, and he outperforms his contract. Where are you going to put him? Maybe put him on the third pairing if you can bring a guy in, but you're going to have to shed some salary. I think that would
be great. If you get another top 4 guy and he's your third pair right D, that's a really solid.
Agreed.
Year. Yeah.
I would take that, but
yep.
All right, guys, we're getting down to brass tacks really fast now. Predictions. We're going to lay it all on the line right here. Coach, go.
All right. Well, I think we get Hall and Kasha back Saturday. That's great news. They should come out of protocol. The Islanders, I mean, they're on a bit of a heater lately, I think. And I'm gonna predict they're gonna be like idiots with Tavares again, which is ridiculous. Call him Pajama Boy. By the way, it wasn't pajamas; it was bed sheets. Get over it, guys. And but I'm gonna say Tavares scores. I'm gonna say Simmons goes and beats the crap out of somebody. He's due, yep. And I'm gonna call a 4-2 win.
All right, KD.
Yeah, a little tighter for me. I think 3-1, but Islanders just aren't scoring. And they're missing actually 2 guys who are important, and they're barely playing any hockey. So the teams they've beaten, Philly twice recently, that means nothing to me. I think the Leafs outpossess them all game and have a good opportunity to get back on track defensively on a team that doesn't score a lot of goals. So knock on wood, the D shows up today.
Yeah, that's fair. The one thing I'll say is that the Islanders have been quietly putting away some teams. So we'll see what happens. I agree they don't score enough. I think the Leafs are going to come out big. 5-1 Leafs. Matthews starts a new streak. Spezza gets one because he's due. You know what, guys? Yeah. We are out of time because of that Hull rant. So I don't think we're going to be able to get to the Tiger Woods story.
Oh, son of a...
There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed your time with us. We always enjoy our time with you. Talking about our favorite hockey team, the Leafs, right here